You are listening to The Art of Sales. Everyone sells every day, and this is your source for conversational, real-world sales and prospecting methods that you are comfortable using and that get results. You'll help people buy instead of pushing them into being sold. Here's your host, Art Subcheck.
I stopped in a sandwich shop to grab a quick bite for lunch. Luckily, there wasn't a line, but I was still left waiting because no one was there to handle my order. Two other employees were busy helping other customers, and then I heard one of them yell, "Michelle, counter!" About 30 seconds later, a 20-something customer service rep, I guess you would call her, came out, did not look me in the eye, and blurted out, "Help you?" Well, I was ready, since, of course, I had ample time to prepare my script. "Yeah, please, I'd like a 6-inch turkey on whole grain, not toasted." So she slapped on the gloves, then looked at me a bit puzzled and said, "You said meatball, right?" That was odd. Turkey sounds nothing like meatball. "No, I said turkey on whole grain." So she searched for the turkey and fumbled around a little bit, then looked at me again and said, "White bread?" I thought she was joking. I gave her, "You've got to be kidding me, right?" kind of smirk. And then I realized she actually did not know. So I replied again, "Well, again, I'd like whole grain, please." Now, a few seconds passed as she quickly threw together the sandwich and looked up and said, "You said toasted, right?" Now I'm actually laughing. And I replied, "Actually, no, I didn't say that. And no thanks, not toasted." Then finally she said, "So what would you like on it?" Now, given my experience up to this point, it took everything I had, trust me on this, to not return with something like, "Well, I'd answer, but I don't think it'll do any good, so just ask me a second time right now." But instead, I maintained my composure and very slowly told her what I wanted, item by item. I even pointed to them through the window to help her visualize. Now, I'd like to think this experience is the exception with service people or salespeople or even just people in general. But you and I both know that, unfortunately, it's more the norm. The typical attention span today is seconds, if that. People are addicted to distraction, young and old. We communicate in abbreviated phrases. We get news in headlines and scrawls and tweets. And if a website doesn't grab our attention in nanoseconds, click next. Someone emailed me and said, well, they like my podcast, but they need them to be shorter because I guess 5 to 8 minutes is too long. And I'm guessing that for them, reading an entire book would be outrageous. Now, don't even get me going on the entire notion of present but absent, which is using your mobile device to text, call, tweet, email, or whatever when you are with another person. Anytime someone does that, they're indicating, I've got something more important here. Even if it's scrolling through Facebook posts of what someone had for dinner, I guess that's more important. While walking through a restaurant to my seat the other day, I observed that at least 90% of the tables, there were couples together there. And usually one and sometimes both of them were tapping on or talking into or staring blankly at their phone. Present but absent. All right, so let me get this rant back on the tracks here. My point is that the reality today is that we must operate in an environment where people in general have shorter attention spans than ever. And by the way, if you stayed with me this long, congratulations. All right. We are more distracted and inundated with stimuli, that is the plural of stimulus, right, than ever before. So to be effective in this sales game, we need to proactively counteract that when we are sending and receiving messages. So I've got a couple very simple, but nevertheless important tips for you. First, pay attention. I believe that to truly be an effective communicator, you need to work hard at the art and science of simply paying attention. Yeah, That means actually listening to what the other person is saying and not thinking of what you're going to say next, or worse, interrupting them with what you want to say. And it also means not checking your emails, your texts, your tweets, Facebook, or any other site while you're speaking with a prospect or a customer. And despite what many people say, there is no such thing as multitasking, since a person can only do one thing at a time. And if you are flitting from thing to thing, you're not doing any of them very well. Certainly, you wouldn't have your A game when you're talking on the phone and trying to perform several other activities. So here's a test that's worth taking. On the remainder of your spoken communication today, on the phone and face-to-face, practice over-the-top listening. That means grabbing on to every word that you hear as if you're going to be tested on it, with major consequences if you failed the test. If you do this, you're going to be surprised at how much you really actually hear. Next, preempt their distraction. So I'm always asked, how do I get people interested? Well, that's easy. Be more interesting. How? We'll talk about their favorite subject, them. Hey, this isn't new, but then again, I don't know why more people don't do it. In my voicemail inbox right now, there's a message from a clueless caller who left a 90-second message about the service that he provides to call centers and how he wants to set up an appointment so he could show me how I should be using his service in my call center. Hello? It wouldn't take more than a few seconds to find out exactly what I do, which is not run a call center. So what my business is helping salespeople do what he didn't, and that's create interest, engage prospects and customers, and move the sales process forward. And that's what I constantly talk about. So if you're having a difficult time reaching decision makers, getting prospects to read or even open your emails, and then if you are able to get through actually selling, well, brace yourself. It's probably you. So money and attention flows to value. And how can you communicate that? Well, you need to start by getting out of an it's about me frame of mind and into the all about them state of mind. And again, if you made it all the way to the end here with me, congratulations. You either have a very refined attention span or I kept your interest. So follow these ideas and you're going to be way ahead of everyone else who's too busy being distracted. All right. Hey, you know what time it is.
Your attitude will be never will, never feel. What they say is the art of the sales. Quote of the day.
That's right. Time for the quote of the day. And I'm going to share with you one of my favorite quotes that you can, if I start it, you probably know the end of it. And it is, you can get whatever you want in life if you help enough other people. That's right. Get what they want. And of course, that is from Zig Ziglar. And that is so important, ties directly into what we're doing here. And that is what we talked about here. And that is making everything all about the other person. Speaking about making it about the other person, hey, do a friend a favor, a couple friends a favor. Send them to our show site so they can benefit from this show as well. And that site is theartofsales.com, theartofsales.com. And if you're on iTunes, would you please give us a 5-star rating and a review? That's my ask of you. And also, I want to give you something. If you don't have my Smart Calling book and you practice prospecting, I want to help you master prospecting. And I want to give you some free training as well. So you can get the book at Amazon, but if you go through my site, I've got some free training there. The instructions are there for you. And here's that site, smart-calling.com. smart-calling.com. Thank you so much for investing your busy time with me. Until next time, go out and make it your best sales day ever. I'm Art Subcheck.